Okay, folks, I'm live. Guess what? We are now over in the other stream because the original stream would not play for us. So if you're still over in the old stream, hopefully everybody will start filtering over now, and we'll get this thing going. Let's see. I just got to shut all my windows here and make sure I'm in the right spot. There we go. Hey, Teresa. Just let everybody know that this channel is now going. I hate that happened. Hey, Field Guy, good to see you. And I'll wait till everybody gets in before I start letting you know exactly what happened here. Now that it's 9:19, which kind of pisses me off, but everything was all set, but it just didn't work. Hey, Lucky Stone, Sean Bowden, Steph, good to see you. Matt Finn, nice to see you. Yeah, I got to tell you, Rocky and I were going to go live here this morning, and so he was producing it, and we couldn't get the stream to operate through his system. And it was all there. All the settings were right. It just would not pick up the stream. We couldn't launch it. So, hey, Lucas, good morning. And Paula Stucci, good morning. How you doing? And Kenneth LaFarve, and Sean Bowden, Baroness, good to see you all. Yeah, it was just kind of weird. You know, this happened to us the last time we tried this. And so Rocky is a manager now on my YouTube, and he's got all the passwords. He went in, got it all set up. That's the link you saw. He had it all set up, ready to roll from his end. And he set all that up. He put the stream up and everything. But it would not allow us to launch the stream for some reason. There was no explanation. So, yeah, it's screwing things up right now. Everything's kind of screwy. So Rocky was going to be here. Now he's not. I don't have the ability to pick him up here until I upgrade all my tech over here, my programs, which I have not done. One of these days I'll do that. You know, all I really need to do is just upgrade my Zoom account. Then I can call Rocky in, but then I got to run it through the stream I run through the radio rather than just go direct live. Then we'll have the delay and all of that. That's no big deal. We'll get it set up. We'll try it again next time Rocky's free on a Sunday. Hey, Carly, good morning. Good to see you. And who else we got? We got Field Guy. We got, I think everybody I've said hi to you already, unless you're all popping in out of nowhere. Glad that you made the transition over. Leslie, how you doing? And I know, Leslie, it was supposed to start, and it didn't. So now I also got a couple of windows from YouTube as we were trying to get this launched this morning that said they're working on their streaming system. It didn't say anything was going down, though. So, there it is. So, Greg, how you doing, brother? And Kelly Bolt, good to see you. Been a while. And Susie Q, good morning. And Leslie, I want to say thank you. And Teresa, both of you, thank you for your donations this week to this show. I sure appreciate that. That means a lot to me that you do that and continually do it. That makes my heart feel big this morning. So thank you, Leslie, and thank you, Teresa. And I think Matt was in there last week as well. So thank you, guys. Those are the most recent ones. And if you all would like to, here it is. It's Sunday morning. Pretend you're at church and I'm passing the offering plate. If you all would like to throw a few bucks into the offering plate to help support the cause, you can do so. You go over to, if you're in this window watching the live stream, I don't think I have it. No, I don't think I have it down below here. But if you go to my main channel, you'll see in the header, it says down in the right-hand corner, it'll say donate for my further research and so on, blah, blah, blah. You can do that. You can enter any denomination you wish. Oh, there, Audrey put it in. Hi, Audrey. Good morning. Good to see you here. So there you go, folks. And let's see. Barry, good to see you. Did I see Jennifer in here? Or did mine eyes deceive me? So I thought I saw her. It might have just been the scrolling stuff scrolling by me. Oh, I saw Jeannie. Hey, Jeannie. Patch, good to see you too. Mary Bell, nice to see you here this morning. And so here we are. It's Sunday morning, and I'm going to tell you right off, I started off the day, and the reason that I asked Rocky to come on this morning was I was feeling wiped out. Hey, there's my little one of them anyway. This is Rowan Claire.
My hair's messed up.
Her hair's messed up. So's mine.
No, it's not.
It's going away.
You're an old
That's
grandpa.
messed up.
You're an old grandpa, that's why.
I'm not a grandpa. I don't have any grandkids. How can I be a grandpa?
Because you're 60.
Yeah, well, so what? You're 8. I was 8 once. All right, go do your thing. I'm going to do my show.
Calling people on the phone.
Who are you calling on my phone? This is scintillating, I realize, folks.
Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande? Oh, all right. Say hi for me. There you go. So, I saw a wow from Kenneth. I'm not sure what that was. 4. But, folks, this is Scintillating Live Radio. Now, this, as most of you already know, this is not my official radio program. That's Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. Central Time. This is my live stream where I can do whatever I want. So if there weren't any kids hanging around the room and people, some of your listeners and the kids, I would probably use more colorful language. But because you know what? Colorful language, it's part of my vocabulary. Now, I don't get up. Now, I'm going to give you all a forewarning. If you got small kids, you don't want them to hear foul language, maybe cover their ears or let them know. Because this, I don't like to be hindered by censorship or self-censoring. But I also don't want to use language that would turn people off. So the way I probably justified it in my own head, I don't have a problem with colorful language. I don't have a problem using the Effenheimer. There you go. It laces my daily communications. Not so much with my kids. Every now and then I throw it out. Okay, what's the effing riot going on in the living room all about? Rarely. I use goddamn. I use shit. I use words like that. And I don't have a problem with them. To me, it's part of my daily speech. And I don't always use it like with clients. When I talk to a new client, I'm not now, folks, cover your kids' ears because I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it as an example. I don't come in and go, how you fucking doing today? I don't do that to a client and a new client. Now, however, when I get to know that client, there are times where that's appropriate. Where the client will say to me, oh my God, this thing's fucked up. And I'll go, hey, you're right. Let's fucking fix it. So I use that language. It's part of my daily language. It is not, shall I say, the language of proper discourse with my children. I don't use that with them. Although they've heard me use it. They've heard my wife use it. Rainey can cuss like a sailor. And she could probably make you all blush. And but that's cool. That's who Rainey is. And as far as other words, no, Barry, Rocky didn't break my computer. YouTube broke our connection. I don't know why. So how you doing, Barry? Hey, Steph. So mostly what I do here, I don't want people to get fucking offended. See, that's how I use the word from time to time. And so it's not every other sentence. It's not even, it's a fun word. I have that George Carlin philosophy on swearing, is that I'm looking at messages here. Leslie said, YouTube keeps shutting off your notifications. I don't know what to do about that. Honestly, it could be because I put up one link for today's show last night, and that would be the link. And I put up a notification for it. You just hit the reminder thing. Then This morning I asked Rocky to come on, and I had to change the link, so that changes the notification. But it should automatically alert you to that link. Then that link didn't work. We couldn't get connected this morning. There was no conceivable reason we could find for the link not to work this morning. That's why we were late. And so then I had to start a whole new third stream to make it work. So there you go. Yeah, there you go, Audrey. It's how to properly use it. I am okay with people in this chat room using the Effenheimer. If people get offended by that, there's a part of me that says, okay, if you're offended by that, adults use that language. I'm sorry, it's going to be here every now and then. Just get used to how we talk. There's the other side that wants to accommodate them and say, I don't want you to be turned off by coming to this channel and hearing language you don't like to use or you don't use. I was that way at one time. When I was in ministry and stuff like that, I was not a swearer. Although I had somebody hear me say, God damn it once, and I was thoroughly embarrassed. But I said it because I was pissed off. Here I am, a minister, and I'm asking God to damn something in a minced oath sort of way. Just yesterday, I did something. I went, God bless it. And I said, now, wait a minute. Was that the Christians or the preacher's way to get around saying God damn it by saying God bless it? Oh, well, you're really doing the same exact thing, the same intent of heart. You've just changed the consonants and the vowels around a little bit. So does that make it any different in God's eyes? Wrong consonant usage. Sin. Oh, there you go. Now you got the right vowel. Now you're good. You're good with me. Proceed. I don't think that's the way it works. I think it's all about intent of the heart. It's all about spirit. I use swearing because it's fun and it's funny. I could even say it's funny as shit because I like it. There are some people who are offended by that. But 80 years ago, that same person, older person, might have said, Jiminy Cricket, which all that is a minced oath for Jesus Christ. So instead of going, Jesus Christ, in some kind of exasperation, they go, Jiminy Cricket. Still got the JC in it. That's why they created that. Or cheese and crackers, same thing. If you say Cheez-Its, like the little cracker snack, the Cheez-Its, instead of Jesus, are you good with God? Or does God go, I know what you did there, dumbass? So, this is the way I look at it. Swearing. We all use expletives of one sort or another. Sometimes we say frickin'. Sometimes we say frackin'. Sometimes we say fudge. Oh, fudge. Now, when somebody says that, we kind of chuckle at them under our breath a little bit. They go, oh, they think they're getting away with not saying fuck. When actually, that's exactly what they're saying. They've just changed the letters around so it doesn't sound offensive. And who are we worrying about offending with that? Now, sometimes it's appropriate. Children, I don't like to use a lot of swearing around my kids. That doesn't mean they don't hear me say swear words from time to time. I just don't lace my daily conversation with swear words to my kids because that's not what they're meant to do. So far, my kids haven't sworn any. So I'm pretty good there. And let's see, Leslie, what'd you just say? Once a car pulled out and almost hit me. I had my 2-year-old granddaughter in the backseat. I shook my head and said, what a dumbass. And she imitated me all the way home. Classic. And dumbass isn't a bad word. Here's the thing. If I were a politician, if I were the president of the United States, I'd probably not change my language. I would be eloquent when I needed to be eloquent. I would be common when I needed to be common. I could be eloquent. I could be speaking to the UN and say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the President of the United States, and today I have some grave issues I would like to discuss with you, and I could be eloquent about it. And then I could also say to them, but I all think you're a bunch of fucking dumbasses. You need to get off the shitter and make things work. So that's the way I would talk as the President of the United States. And of course, then I'd get all the rivals from the rival political party all denouncing me for my bad language and what a common base, senseless, psychopathic, sociopathic narcissist I am. And because I use swear words. Oh, he's so unpresidential. It's like, so what? Shut up. And so, yeah, Paul Astucci. That's why I couldn't be a politician. So, Paul Astucci, I think you need to change your name to Paul Astucci. How you doing? So every time I reference you when I see you in the chat room, I can go, Paul Astucci, how you doing? And it wouldn't seem affectatious. So, Jeannie Griffin, the older I get, the more I've used it. Yep. When I was younger, I never cussed. I never did either. I never swore when I was younger. As a matter of fact, and I've mentioned this before, my mom told me when I was a teenager and I was in the church and I was in the youth group and, you know, going to church 5 days a week, not for services, but for all different kinds of activities. My mom, and I went to the Christian high school there at the church, and my mom said, I wish you would just swear once in a while, then I'd know you're normal. So, JJ is 10, says Susie Q. Yeah, my son Flynn is 10. Those two should meet up one of these days. Compare notes. Susie, tell me what JJ's into. Probably into the same stuff my son's into. Now, my son hears me say things. He hears me throw out the F word every now and then. He hears it on TV every now and then, on movies we watch or something. And he just looks at me and he goes, oh, that's an R-rated movie, isn't it, Dad? And I go, fuck yeah. And, you know, I'm being comic now. But you guys get the idea. I don't want anybody to feel they can't tune in this show because I use foul language. So I don't do it. In general, we're talking about it today, and we're all grown-ups and we all wear our big boy pants and our big girl pants so we can handle hearing the word as we're talking about it. Sheltering our kids from hearing the word being used or having it directed at them are two different things. I think I don't shield my kids from a lot of stuff. I don't let them watch sex on TV, of course. Rainey and I, if we're watching a movie and it gets into a steamy, hot R-rated scene where the actors are obviously naked and obviously fake humping on camera, but it's there and it's steamy and it's on, you know, we'll turn it off. They don't need to see that stuff. They don't need to see gore and violence. They don't need to hear a lot of swearing, but they hear swearing at home. So, I mean, there's a lot of great people that come from. Think of a slice of Americana like farming, and these farming families, solid family, ma and pa with the pitchfork and the shovel, and the kids are raised in a wholesome atmosphere. And you know, they said my dad said bullshit and goddamn all the time. And so, hey, Twisted, how you doing? I saw you pop in. Yeah, I got soap in the mouth too. That's funny. My mom, who taught me how to swear, gave me soap in the mouth when I was a kid. So, why are you soap in my mouth, Ma? You say the same thing. Well, adults talk that way, not kids. What would your teacher do if you said it in school? I said, I'm smart enough not to use it at school. So, or with the teacher. So, let's see. I got to look at some of your comments. Comments are flying fast and furious. So Paul Astucci, how you doing? Says, I don't swear in front of my parents very much. Yeah, I get that. You know, I've only gotten to the place where I can swear in front of my mom in about the recent year or so. Now, my mom, she swore when I was a kid. She's the one that told me, I wish you'd swear now and then so I'd know you're a normal person. She told me when I was in high school, big into the church and church activities. But even now, I'll talk to my mom and my dad. I sometimes talk to him, and I didn't know my dad until I was an adult, and I'm wrong about that. I met him for the first time when I was 16. My brother and I spent a day with him, and then I didn't talk to him again until I was 30. And he and I hit off a pretty good relationship, and we talk mostly on the phone. He's 80 years old now, but we can talk, and I now can use the word fuck with him. And it seems like a weird milestone, but it's a milestone because he slipped it out once with me, and he goes, and he's got this weird kind of, he's Cincinnati, Ohio, but he's 40 miles out of town. So he's out in the country. And so he's got this, hey, this is your dad, Joe. Joe is his name. And that's the way he talks. And I'm exaggerating it. If he was listening to this, I wouldn't want to offend you, Dad, but he's got a twangier accent. And there was one time we're talking, and he says something, oh, yeah, this fucking thing. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. And I go, yeah, Dad, it was pretty fucking low of you to use that word. So, we joked about it. Now we can use that. We use that in common conversation. And it doesn't bother us. I love spooning too, Patch. Boy, that was a non sequitur. So, it's commonplace. Yeah. You even see it. You're right, Steph. You even see it on regular TV after 10 p.m. What do we watch that we see that word? There was some show we were watching. We were binge watching a bit. It might have been a special channel, HBO series or something. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But you do see foul language. So nice to see you, Carly. You have a fun day. Thanks for coming in. And everybody, there is a little GoFundMe that Rocky started for, and some of you may have been involved in this as well. I'm not sure of all the details of it. Started a GoFundMe for Carly. So for some of her STEM research stuff. So go on over there. I don't have the link in front of me. Audrey has it, I believe. If you've got the link, Audrey, throw that up so people know where to go see what that's all about and they can donate a bit. You're welcome, Carly. Hope you feel better today. And so let's see. True Divine. Good to see you. That's my yeoman, I think. You can swear like a sailor. That's all right. So and sometimes I find that, like, when I would do readings, I would sometimes find that it loosened people up a little bit to accept what they were hearing when I talked on a level to them, because I slipped it out once and I said something. I said, all this shit is the stuff you got to work on. And I said, pardon me for saying the word shit. I said, but then I found that it for the person I was reading, because I used vernacular and I used common language, it was something where they understood. It's almost like it clicked a little deeper for them, because it's like, oh, this isn't just this surface glossy stuff like I hear at church, the mode, the form of delivery. It's down to earth. It's me. And so once I realized that, I just didn't hold that back whenever it came up. So I thought it was worth saying. So you're welcome, Carly. And we're rooting for you to get to that goal. So let's see. What else we got going on? Let's see. Now, something I'll never do in this channel, I don't want to get base in the talk in this channel. Joking around is one thing. Rocky and I on his show, some people might call us base. I don't. We're frivolous. We're immature over there. We let our hair down. And we do that on purpose. There's a reason for it. It's because we're fed up with the seriousness of politics today and the seriousness of it. If you've noticed, Rocky and I, several months ago, better part of 6 months ago, we really shifted emphasis to getting we just let our hair down. We get immature. We talk about frivolous, stupid shit. And, from buttholes to vaginas to nipples we talk about that stuff. We're very free and open about it. Like we sit around and smoke cigars and talk with our wives and all that. And we let all that kind of stuff out because we find that people want a release from all the seriousness. And so for me, again, swearing, frivolity, some of that is good comic relief. And when you're done with that, you just got to take a deep breath and go, whew, that was fun. And it loosens you up. It puts a little oil on the hinges, so to speak. So, hey, Durwood, how you doing? So there's so many comments here. I'm not even going to go back through and try to find comments. But there, Audrey put that up, folks. If you scroll back a little bit, there's a fundraiser going for Carly. And let's see if I can copy that link. I'm even going to put it again. Audrey already did it, but here it is again. Oh, did that even go? It's too long. No, there it is. It's in there. So that's the fundraiser for Carly. And you can go over there and read about that. I could tell you about it, but I don't have all the details on it in front of me. And I don't want to get anything wrong. So go over and read about it. This is to help Carly in her situation, her health situation. And it's very worth your time and putting in a few bucks. So help her reach that goal. So Audrey says doggy farts are the worst. I'm working on a kid's book. This is what I started talking about. I'm illustrating a kid's book. And I've got a deadline of tonight to get the rest of the balance of these in. And so I don't do all-nighters the way I used to. My body works differently these days, my brain. There were times where I'd pull all-nighters all the time just to get stuff done. When I was illustrating I had a set of 50 trading cards that I needed to write, design the packaging, write the individual cards. They were cards for kids, and illustrate them. And I had 2 weeks to produce this. They hired me. Now, this is 20 years ago. This is 1992. So we're looking at almost 30 years ago. But they gave me $20,000, $10,000 down if I could get this project done in 2 weeks. And I assured them I could. 50 full color illustrations. And so I accomplished it. I got it done. But that last 5 days, I didn't go to bed the whole time. I was at my studio, which was away from the home at the time. I was renting an office space. And I drank coffee, took no dose. I did everything but illicit drugs. And I was awake pretty much for 5 days and 5 nights straight to get that done at the end. Now, I've done that a couple of times in my life, that long stint, several days, trying to reach a very well-paying deadline if I made it. And so right now I've got a really tight deadline on something that turned into a very rushed project. And I've got to have this stuff to her by tonight. And I still have a few illustrations left to do. But it's for a kid's book. So it's fairly easy stuff to do. And I illustrate, and then I import those illustrations into Photoshop. And sometimes I'll add backgrounds and paint backgrounds because it's easier than painting everything by brush and by hand. It's a commercial project, so I go commercial with it in that respect. But I've got like some of the illustrations here. I did almost an all-nighter last night. I went to bed about 10, and I got up at 2. That's 4 hours. So I still got 4 hours of sleep. But, and so I was painting all morning from 2 o'clock on. And it's like this. Here, this is one. Now, in this little story, this is a dad taking a bite out of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. This is a little book for little kids. And so I did this illustration this morning. So it's easy stuff like this. is what I'm pulling off right now. And I got 5 like these to do. This took me about 2 hours, 2.5 hours from sketch to finish. But then I got these more complicated ones like this, which are, and they're on odd sizes because I have to cut them down to fit them into my scanner. The client will never see these other than if they want them, I put them in an envelope. The finals are actually what I do when I import this into Photoshop, and I added a huge patio garden background to it and a painting effect. And it was, and changed with the lighting and messed with that. And yeah, here's the dad and the mom. And I added she had a platter of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches sitting on a ottoman on a wooden floor in their living room. And I added all that stuff digitally because it was much easier. So these kinds of illustrations, this is what I'm working on right now. And is this stuff. So kind of goofy, little cartoony color illustration. But that kept me up all night. And so then I saw Rocky online at about 6 this morning. I said, dude, you want to come on my show this morning? Go live with me? And that's why we set everything up. And then it didn't work for us. We still haven't figured out why it didn't work. It was supposed to work. So, oh, hey, Dark Huntress. That's my very dear friend of Wendy, when did we meet? 15 years. And she's a Brit. And so she lives over there outside of London somewhere. And dear friend of mine. So, and thank you for that, by the way. So anyway, that's the stuff. That's why I was looking to Rocky this morning to say, hey, Rocky, come on with me, because I don't want to not do the show this morning, but at the same time, I'm mentally exhausted. And now, of course, got my second win. I feel it, up here. I can feel that I could use some sleep, but I got 4 hours last night. I generally go 5 or 6 hours, so I'm really not all that short on sleep, comparatively speaking. So I think I'll do all right. And so Jennifer said something that somebody said wow to. What's going on there, Jennifer? By the way, Wendy, meet Jennifer. You're both over there. Jennifer's outside of Newcastle, which is, a little bit of a drive from outside the London area. But and Dark Huntress, by the way, she that's my friend Wendy. She just bought a what's the year, Wendy? 67. Why am I going blank? It's my brain is tired. Think of the car from it's an Impala, black, 1967, and the same car they used in Supernatural. 67 Impala, there it is. Except yours is a 2-door, right, instead of a 4-door. Minor detail, but it's a gorgeous car. You should go over and join her Facebook or her Instagram, and you can see her stuff. If you were over there, I think she rents that out, or she rents it out as the driver. I'm not sure which. Wendy, you can clear that up. So anyway, so what Rocky and I were going to talk about this morning was what I normally do on Sunday, which is not really have an agenda of any kind. We got a million things to talk about, but at the same time, we were just going to come on. And so beer, yeah, we could talk about beer. I like beer. If it's yellow and I can see through it, I don't like to drink it. I generally like a nice, dark, heady stout. I like something a little more meaty with my beer. Mike Yehudi! You woke up feeling like you was hit by a bus. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. I've had my days like that. So, see, I thought I'd be feeling more shitty this morning, and I'm not. Feeling pretty good. So, White Snake dance on the hood of that car, Steph says. I'll bet you would. Dark red beer? Yeah, that can work. Hey, KT Emma. Lucky Stone, I don't drink often, but if I drink a beer, I want it worth it. And damn straight, Lucky. I don't drink a lot these days. I used to be a notorious drinker. And by that, I mean, I was a drinker. I was not a drunk. I was not an alcoholic. But I liked drinking my alcohol. And there were certain types I would drink. I was a purist. I liked Guinness Stout, and I liked my single malt Highland Scotch. And those are the things that I would drink. And if I couldn't get my Guinness Stout or didn't feel like I wanted the heaviness of the Guinness Stout, I would go to like a Newcastle Brown Ale or something of that nature is what I would drink. And so, yeah, you lost this transmission, says Jeannie Griffith. You're back now, though. That's good. Let's see. Carly, because Scotty's on Carly, says Durwood. I missed something in there. But Dark Hunter says, Scotty, show them the pictures you did for me. I would, but I can't link them up in the broadcast. I could show them during the week because I use going live. Now I'm going live through YouTube. That's why you don't see my scrolling banner on the bottom and all the logos around the sides. It's clean window because it's just live through YouTube. I can show graphics by importing them into my other program when I do my live show, but I can't do that here. Sad to say. Otherwise, I would, Wendy. Let's see. True Divine, I've gone and tapped the mute button by mistake. Gary, good to see you here. Anyway, I'm a Scotch drinker too, Teresa. I love my Scotch. You put in some weird Scotch I'd never heard of the other day. Somebody asked me what my favorite Scotch was. And they said their favorite was something like Johnny Walker Green Label. Now, if you like that, go ahead. I make a goofy face on it and wrinkle my nose as I say, that's not really Scotch. Well, okay, it's Scotch whiskey, but it's a blend. And we used to have a little song at the Renaissance Festival that we'd sing. It said something like, in part of the song, it said, if you bring to me a blend, you shall no longer be my friend. I'm a purist. I like a single malt Highland Scotch. I always say if it starts with a Ben, Glen, Bal, Dal, Mac, or O, I'll drink it. You know, Ben, what's the one? What's the Ben I'm thinking of? Bal. Glen, Ben, Bal, Mal, Dal, Mac, or O. So Glenmorangie is one of my favorites. Glenmorangie, an 18-year-old in sherrywood casks. That's the good stuff. Now, I do have a blend that I drink every now and then. It's sitting right here. Just because it's on my desk doesn't mean I'm a drunk. But I like a good Jameson every now and then. But Jameson is a lighter blend. I like it's a blended whiskey, and it's Irish whiskey. I like that. I'll drink that. But that's almost the only blend I'll drink. So the rest of my like Lagavulin, Macallan, Balvenie, Dalwhinnie, Oban. What's the one we used to like to drink? Cardew, which I don't even know if you can get Cardew anymore. And those are the scotches I like to drink. And I always like to say I treat alcohol as not a thing to use as a tool of inebriation, although that happens sometimes, but a tool to use as a repast with brother wizards, fellow wizards, and to hobnob and banter. And so, I like a good scotch. But I used to drink more than I do now because I had more opportunity to drink. Now I'm a dad. I'm home a lot. I work a lot. I don't have as much opportunity to drink the way I used to. And it's not that, do I miss it greatly? Not necessarily. I miss the occasions when we could have drinks like that. So it was all wrapped around the occasion. Loved getting together with friends. Loved drinking scotch. Loved drinking. Beer drinking to me is not somebody who sits around and drinks a case of Miller Lite. Sorry if any of you do, because I'm going to offend you right now, is stupid. To sit around and just say, I bought me a 24-pack of Miller Lite and I'm going to put it away this afternoon. It's like, what the hell? What for? Do we take 4 gallons of milk and drink them in one setting for the afternoon? Because I just feel like putting down some grade A vitamin D cow milk. And I'm going to drink these babies all this afternoon while watching the football game. Or, Pepsi. Do we drink a 24-pack of Pepsi in a day? Hell, even a 12-pack of Pepsi in a day? No, but we'll take light pea beer and crack those open one after the other and do 12 of them in an afternoon. It's like, what the hell? What do you do? Why do you drink? We don't even drink water that much, which we should. Imagine how our bodies would function if we drank more water. So that's what I'm saying, is that I like to drink, but I was never one to sit down and just crack beer after beer after beer after beer. It's not my thing. Personal preference. So, and I'm a purist. I have certain beers I like, and I've already gone through that. And scotch, I like scotch. I like to drink a scotch. Sometimes I'll get a scotch that's very heady. Maybe it's a little too peaty for me or a little too oaky for me. But, all depends. So there you go. Depends on your mood. Tequila, I see your name, Steph Cuervo King. Cuervo Queen. Why, where'd King come from? I'm thinking of myself and drinking tequila. I don't drink tequila. I don't like it. It's too pasty for me. It's got some kind of taste. It's a syrupy taste that just doesn't work well for me. Maybe it's the texture. It's not my thing. Now, I could drink it in a margarita, but then I get hints of tequila and I don't like the margarita anymore. So, flat Coke, a.k.a. Pepsi. Thanks, Field Guy. So, Karen Steele, how you doing? Good to see you here. We're having Scotch talk right now. And by the way, Scotch is what you drink. It is not a heritage. If you're from Scotland, you're Scottish. You're not Scotch. Scotch was a derogatory term for the Scots, if you didn't know that. So never use the term Scotch to describe a Scotsman or a person of Scottish heritage. It's derogatory. It's nasty. So Scotch is something you drink. I drink coffee too, Mary Bell. A lot of it. Even in the hot summer. Damn straight. Even in the hot summer, I like to grind my beans, put them in the French press. I got my coffee. Stronger the better. Which reminds me, we are eventually going to be coming out with a coffee of our own. Rocky's got the cigars, and Jen, our guest from last Friday on Rocky's show, she provides his cigars for him. They're kind of talking me into getting cigars for this show. Now, that's not necessarily my trademark, but I like to smoke a cigar every now. We might do that. But what I really want to do is get coffee. For the Paradigm Symposiums when we were running it, we were looking at doing coffee one year, and we didn't. But it was going to be rocket fuel because of the rocket logo for Intrepid. And so we might do some coffee. That's our custom coffee. So it's not going to be Folgers stuffed in a different label. It's going to be custom coffee for us from Bean. So, Captain, please use my slogan. You got to remind me, Yeoman, what was your slogan? I got to go look it up. It's not coming into my head. It's not rushing to me. And you're going to say it, and then I'll recognize it. And I'll go, oh, yeah. Sterling, how you doing? Good to see you. Bean me up, Scotty. There it is. Bean me up, Scotty. Maybe that will be our coffee. Bean me up, Scotty. So you could have your own Scotty brand of bean. We could probably have it ground too, but I like whole bean. Now, how are you all about? We talked about swearing. We've talked about scotch and beer. What about coffee? If you're a coffee drinker, I think the best coffee you can get is to grind your own bean. Don't get it pre-ground at the store because it loses its freshness. Get the bean, throw the bean in your grinder. Even better if you have a hand crank grinder. But if not, put it in the electric grinder, grind it up, throw it in your French press. You guys know what a French press is? It's a carafe. You put your bean in the bottom and you pour boiling water, but you let it sit for a second. So it's about a minute before you add it to your coffee bean. And then you push the plunger down on it and you let that bean or that water soak into the water, the ground beans, the freshly ground bean. It's like slicing an apple. You know, when you first slice it and you sniff that, you get the sweetness of the apple. It's all crisp and nice. If you let that apple sit out in a bag for a week and then eat the sliced apple, it's usually brown. You want to save the freshness of your bean by not grinding it until the moment before you use it. So when I do coffee for this show, our own coffee, it's going to be a coffee that we have in bean form, which I would highly recommend. And so if you drink coffee, do you go get the pre-made stuff? Sometimes I got a couple of boxes of the little cups, the Keurig, and I use that from time to time. That all depends on how much I want to fuck with. There, see? There, it's in my language. Sorry, folks, I didn't warn you. How much I want to mess with grinding coffee or using my pre-ground coffee or just throwing the cup in the machine, bam, add water, it's done. So no matter how, I like coffee no matter what. I just don't like weak coffee. So coffee with Bailey's caramel in it. Yeah, that's pretty good, Steph. I used to have some Baileys sitting around. I had business partners, friends that we always got together and did work together and stuff. And whenever we had coffee, we had Baileys that we chucked into it instead of creamer. I like vanilla creamer that I put in my coffee. I'm not necessarily an all the time black coffee drinker. I like a little flavor in it. But you know, sometimes straight old coffee is good when you need it. Bud Mills or Bush Mills? Bud Mills and coffee was good. Yeah, Bush Mills and coffee. No, another scotch I like, and it's a blend, but I like Tullamore Dew. It's another Irish blend whiskey. And you know, maybe I'm a maven for advertising because I was in advertising my whole life. The best ads I have seen for any scotch out there, any whiskey, was the Tullamore Dew. Go look up Tullamore Dew ads on YouTube. Yeah, I think they're very cool. And I like the one with the four friends who were going to the wedding and it was raining and they're walking across the Irish landscape and they're singing The Parting Glass. And what a fantastic advertisement that was. If you weren't drinking Tullamore Dew before that, you'll walk away wanting to drink Tullamore Dew. And they had a bunch of great ads that they did, video ads. So somebody said something to ask me a question here, I think. Thought I saw something go by. The old percolator, those are great ways to make coffee. We used to do that over an open fire. An old percolator. Let's see. I thought somebody asked me a question. Let's see. Jama, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, I agree, Mike Yehudi. Swearing doesn't offend me, but some people do go overboard. I don't go overboard with it. Let's see. How should you store coffee beans? In the cabinet. I always put them in a dark, cool cabinet. And that's the way I store them. Although you can put them in the fridge, but I think they're better if you leave them at room temperature. With rocket ship cafeterias to the full package. Rocket ship. Yes, I think I understand what you're asking me there, Yeoman. With rocket ship, I think you're saying, are you saying cafeterias or cafetiers to the full package? I think I got you. Yeah. Let's see. Japanese single malt. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Let's see. Coconut milk or macadamia nut milk in your coffee. That's pretty good too. Sometimes I like to add just a little sweetener sometimes. I don't do sugar all that much. And diabetic, so I don't do a lot of sugar. I get plenty of sugar in pre-processed stuff I eat. It's amazing. Everything you pick, you got to pick that up and go, oh, how much sugar content does that have? And there is sugar content in this. So usually if I'm drinking more than a shot, I'll have to take a shot to make sure my shot goes down right and doesn't put me over the edge. So almond milk is good with vanilla. I would make sometimes my own vanilla creamer. You use condensed milk, vanilla sweetener, and a little bit of milk, and you mix that all up. And I don't add any sweetener. Vanilla creamer, if I use that, it's got sweetener in it. I use a sugar-free, but it's still sweet enough. Yeah, I like the taste of the coffee too. So there you go. Coffee. I'm going to look into doing some coffee, and we'll make it available. But only if you tell me you want some. If you want it, we'll make it. We'll get it done. So, Nut Pods. Small company that makes creamer without additives. That's cool. Yeah, we buy some organic and non-processed vanilla creamers and stuff like that. Yeah, French press in the shape of an Intrepid rocket ship. That would be fantastic. But it's the cost of getting that made. We'll have to look into that. Worth looking into. And that would be an expensive gift to gift yourself with. So I don't think that would be a $19 French press. That'd probably be more like your $49 French press because it's custom made. We'll have to see about that. Death Wish coffee is pretty good. I would always use Raven's Brew, which I haven't gotten in years. I like Raven's Brew. You can look them up. And I like Dead Man's Reach, made by Raven's Brew. That was some of the best coffee I'd ever had. But yeah, I want to try some of our... I know that there's some of our sponsors with Mojo 50 and Odyssey Radio that have coffee. I'm going to have to look into those too. And so far, I just get, hate them if you want to. I don't care. I get Starbucks coffee. I'll buy like Cafe Verona. I like the bean. Sumatra, I like the bean. So I used to like Morning Joe until I found out it was named after Joe Scarborough. And then I was like, I'll pass now. Okay. I don't want to drink coffee named after Joe Scarborough. Politics. And so, did you say brew? Yes, I did. Why, yes, I did. Sterling? So, obey the king. You obey the king, Steph says. She obeys the king. It's good to be king. So, there you go. That's about all I got. I got stuff to do today, so I'm going to do a couple of readings. Not many today. I can find out where my cards went. Right there. My desk is just a cataclysm. It looks like post-apocalyptic desk because I've been painting all the last couple of days. So Yeah, Sterling Brew. That's what I figured, brother. So, Kelly, let's do you since you're here and I saw you first. So, Kelly, I'm only going to do a couple today. So, if let me read Kelly, and then I'll have you all ask again, so I don't have to look and keep memory or write it down. Let's just do this way. All right, let me get my mic a little bit out of the way so I can shuffle. And I want to, I wish I could do a lot of readings today. I really can't. And so, and I'm actually feeling pretty good for it. So we'll wait until next Sunday to do some more. I want you all to know that you can also come and get a reading. I know it's tight times, but if you want to get a reading, just come on over to my website, scottallenroberts.com. Click on the tarot link, and you'll find links where you can buy either the 5-card or the 10-card reading. Go ahead and buy it with your PayPal. Get a hold of me. Let me know. I'll get a notification and put a number in there or something, or get a hold of me somehow, and we'll get you on the schedule. All right? Here we go. Okay, so Kelly, I don't think I've ever done a reading for you before. Let me shuffle up for you, and then we'll go from there. So I like to shuffle 3 times just to rearrange the cards. All right. One more time. All right, Kelly, if you were here, I'd have you cut the deck. So I'm going to do that on your behalf with perceived permission. And then we restack them. And we go from there. Here we go. All right, I'm going to do 3 cards for you. This will be your current situation, your recent past, your near future. All right, here we go. All right, Kelly, your current situation is the 8 of Coins. All right. Your recent past is the Chariot. And your near future is the Knight of Wands. I could tell you very quickly, you know what this looks like to me right on its surface. When you look at these 3 cards, and let me just hold them all up like this. This is your current, the 8 of Coins. This is your recent past, the Chariot. This is your near future, the Knight of Wands. Right away, what this tells me, you got some changes coming because of your job, your profession, things that you are putting your time and effort into, investing your life into. The 8 of Coins is a card that says you are sitting in your workshop. You are developing your skills to be able to better yourself for a purpose, not just general information. It's all about the coins is the suit that has to do with your material well-being. It's Pentacles in other decks. And it talks about the things that are the nuts and bolts of your life, the material well-being of your life. And many times profession, job, all of that stuff is career. It's all wrapped up in the coins. And when you see this guy on the 8 of Coins, he's sitting in his workshop. He's working. What he's doing, he's honing his skills to make it to the next level. So it's all the things that you've invested your time, your life, your effort into to get where you are. You're now in a position where you're honing those skills more so you can move up to the next step. This could mean a couple of different things. It could mean you're already sitting on knowledge of a possible thing coming down the way that you have to step up to. It's an advance. It's a new project. It's an entrepreneurial effort. Whatever it is, it's what you're investing yourself in, and you got to get yourself in order to do that. And it's honing your skills. to get there. And in the past, you have the Chariot, which is basically, I like to call this card the Chariot Driver. The Chariot Driver is the one who has the ability to lead the horse to water, make it drink, and make it think it was its idea to take the drink. You probably heard me say that before on this show when talking about the Chariot. The Chariot's about developing your prowess, your diplomacy skills, your tact, all those things that go into presenting yourself well, carrying yourself well in a business situation, in a situation where you need to be the one who is leading the team. So it's a card of having led the team. It's your recent past. Doesn't mean it's gone now. It just means that's what's brought you to your to your present, which is the card of honing your skills. So, and the Chariot influence may not have died off at all. It's just brought you to where you are, and it's still going. So it's a card that says you need to take and keep developing the efforts that you had in the past that have put you where you are now. You have some hard work ahead of you is the idea with this. And it might be something that's resolved quickly, but the Chariot's really powerful. And the labor you're undertaking is probably going to trend toward being long and difficult. And you're going to quite possibly experience, don't we all get these, the potholes in the road, so rough roads, long uphill slopes, dead ends, painful setbacks. And the idea with this card is that a good outcome is assured if you take the time to hone your abilities, to be diplomatic, to don't let yourself lose hope. Hard road will instill in you strength, purpose, the ability to overcome through your organization, your endurance, all of these things. And you're gonna get the confidence. Now remember, this card's already happened. It's in your near past. It gives you the confidence to move into your new future. And harnessed correctly, there's few forces that can stand against you when you figured out how to make this work for you. Your character's been tested. And there's been a tendency to protect your own interests, which we all have to a certain extent, but to protect your interests and your ego, and ego in the good sense. And the struggle strengthened you. Recent events have given you a chance to take yourself to accomplishment. All right? And that's all and all that energy has led you to that Eight of Coins card, which says you're now in a position where you're taking all of that and you're morphing that into honing your skills. There's no better way to say that. Tightening your abilities, and focusing on where you need to be next. And the idea with the whole idea with the Eight of Coins is that ability to actually create something for yourself by improving where you are, intensifying. It's using skills that you're still trying to master is the other way of looking at that. It's like me. I've been an illustrator for 40 years of my life, but I still want to try new things. I want to get one of those pads. I've never drawn on a pad. I always draw freehand and paint freehand. So I want to use one of those pads and see how that works for me for doing things, illustrating digitally, because it's got a whole different look and feel about it. So that is honing a skill that I've had my whole life. So the skills you're mastering are going to lead you to a little more success in what you're trying to accomplish. And it's developing your talents, focused on success, focused on investing yourself now, which is going to yield greater results later down the road. Then that leads you into the card of your near future, which is the Knight of Wands. And Wands is that suit again of your emotions, the things that make you go, that make you tick, that make you want to be alive and do what you're doing. And the Knight is always representative of some kind of movement. The only difference with the Knights is the Knight of Coins, which is standing still because he's meticulously planning and plodding and planning his work. But this is one that indicates travel. It indicates relocation. Now, that could be physical relocation. It could be to another city. It could be just to another job within the same city. It's a change of environment is what the card is for. And it's a spontaneous decision that's going to come on you. Something that's going to happen rather fast. After all this time you've used investing and making yourself better for what you do, the change is going to come on really quick is the idea. And it's there's new challenges coming down the pike for you. And it's since this is in the future read, which hasn't happened yet, but this is the energy you're passing into. It's something that may not be your first choice, but it is something that's going to challenge you. It's something that's going to come fast, and it's something that can lead to a lot of happiness in what you're doing, mostly because you are the chariot driver. You are the guy who's in his studio, so to speak, honing his skills, bettering himself, wanting to move into a better situation. So there you go, Kelly. That's what I see. I hope that is beneficial for you, that it's useful. So there you go. All right. I got Mary J. Bell, who says, Scotty, read me, please. I'll read you Mary Jane, or Mary J. I don't know if that's Mary Jane or Mary J. So let me shuffle up for you, and we'll go from there. So again, folks, if you'd like a full reading, just connect with me, and we'll get it done. Okay, one more time. All right, Mary, here we go. If you were here, I'd have you cut the deck. I will do that for you. Here we go. All right, Mary, your first card. This is your current situation. It's the Hermit. There he is, the Hermit. Your recent past is the Empress. And your near future is the Moon. All right. I see some things here right away. You need to take time for yourself. You need to, and by this, I'm talking about meditating, meaning go inward, do a little introspection, figure out what's going on with you. Do this by means of meditation. This is this whole being aware, being awake, being in the now. The Hermit in your current, you may already be doing this, and maybe a lot of us are doing this right now because of forced sequestration, self-isolation. But this is saying take time for yourself and don't forget to do that. It's more important even now that you do this. That you take time, extricate yourself from activities, other people. Hermits, they went to the woods, they went to caves, they put this self-imposed restrictions for the purpose of not just being alone in the woods, but for the purpose of gaining insight into self. That's why he carries the lantern on this card. Let's see here. And this is a card that's saying it's right now in your current, you are past it being high time to do this. You need to do this for yourself right now. And you need to be the hermit right now. So take the time, look into yourself, find out what's going on there, find out how you can gain a little insight into who you're supposed to be right now and what you're supposed to be doing. And the best way to do that sometimes is to just get yourself separated from everybody around you. Family, friends, children, workers, and a lot of us are already in that spot. So I don't know what your profession is like, and if it's got you as a essential employee out there or not. But if you're home, find the time, make the time. And you need it for careful examination of your situation, of your goals, of your decisions about things. It's like a retreat, getting away. Even if it's for a few minutes a day, do this. It's going to be good for you. When you become aware of your true path, your true road, which you can accomplish by being the hermit, there's going to be nothing that's going to stand in your way of making that happen. It's not just the idea of I've got this idea and I'm screwed because I can never make it happen. Maybe what this is saying is be the hermit, figure these things out. Maybe you already know what they are, but find out ways to, first of all, visualize it, lace it with intention, and then go about making it happen. So this is who you are right now. You're the hermit. The Empress is the card of your recent past. Now, the Empress is one of those royal cards, if you will. It's not a king or a queen, but it's strong maternal influence. It's a great card if you're looking for harmony in your relationship or starting a family. The Empress can be mistaken for being pregnant many times. She can stand for pregnancy or fertility in a literal sense, meaning baby time. But she can also be in that figurative sense, that metaphoric sense, is that she is giving birth to new ideas in you. It's creative energy. And it's you putting that artistic or creative energy into use to become successful with it. And so this is where you've been now in your recent past. The last opportunity you had to expand your creativity is something that you should be feeling its influence already, since this card's in the past. And it's your business, your personal, your artistic, new partnerships. These are things that are going to need your continued effort to succeed. And remember your most resourceful behaviors, but especially your discipline. You need to be disciplined in what you're doing to make this happen, because this is like a new beginning. It's unfolding before your eyes. And it may have already unfolded in your past, and now you've got to take time to make sure this thing works right. It's the Hermit again. Comes in there. So it's nurturing, it's loving, problem solving, successful business ventures. All of those are wrapped up in the Empress. And she's in your recent past, which has brought you into being the Hermit. So perhaps these are the things that are spurring you on to set yourself aside and find the time that you need. And by the way, something I just noticed here is all three of your cards are from the major arcana, which are kind of these messages from God, your angels, the universe, source, the originator, whatever you want to call it. And that's almost like an overwhelming God snapping his fingers in your face and saying, all right, listen to this. Don't let this slip by. Don't deal with this lightly. Do this thing now. Listen to what I'm saying. That's what's being told you right now. And so those 3 cards say that to me overall. And this is all about your higher self. This is from the Major Arcana. And your card of your outcome is the Moon. Now, all of this, the Empress, the new energy, the fertile energy, the creative energy, combined with the Hermit now in your present, pull yourself away from things. Extricate yourself from things and think and examine and figure out where you are. The Moon card is on top of that. And something in your life is not what it seems. That's what the Moon card indicates. You're passing into this energy now. Maybe it's a misunderstanding on your part, or there's a truth you can't admit to yourself. I'm an alcoholic. And I have to admit that now. It's like that. I'm not saying you're an alcoholic. Using that as an example of maybe something we find that people can't admit to themselves. So it might also indicate that something important is being kept from you. You're in the dark. You're in the moonlight instead of the sunlight. And it might cause you worry and depression. The moon is a really strong indicator that you have to rely on your own intuition to see yourself through any subterfuge that's going on in your life right now. It's also a card that speaks to dreams, nightmares. Your subconscious is dealing with you. So that's going to come out in your dreams. The moon is elusive. It's a confusing card. It suggests that there's a presence of risk, secrets, some level of mental confusion going on. And it's a card that's warning you to take caution, be very careful in whatever endeavor you're pursuing right now, because it's kind of a negative card. But negative only in the sense that it says you're feeling these things that are not, it might have you in a depressed or a discouraged state. And by depression, I mean temporal depression, situational depression. So the onus is on you right now. You've had the Empress working in your favor in your recent past, but now it's telling you that's leading you to becoming the Hermit. Figure things out. Figure out what you need. Gain insight. Gain intuition. And the Moon card is saying you're going to go into a phase now as a result of this. And the Moon card is one of the few cards in the deck that has kind of a time frame with it. And I've mentioned this before in doing readings here, but the moon is cyclical. It comes in these 2-week cycles, full moon to new moon to back to full moon again. That's actually a month. And on the outside, it's like a couple of weeks. You're going to start feeling that you're stumbling around in the dark a bit. And that's why you need to be the Hermit in your very present. You need to be the Hermit in the here and the now to figure stuff out, balance it out, find a little intuition. And being in the dark might be one of the best times to do that, to counter the effects of stumbling around in the dark a bit. All right. So there you go. I hope, Mary, that works for you. I hope it means something to you. This is not bleak at all, by the way, having this card in your near future. It's not bleak and worrisome. Just saying you're entering a time where things aren't going to seem as clear. So that's why you're being told in your present to be the Hermit. In your present. What's the present? Now. Oh, now it's now again. Oh, now it's now again. So be the Hermit in your present. Your present. Be that. And figure things out. And at the same time, set yourself apart. Wake up and be aware of waking up. And be in your now all the time. And this darker phase is going to pass. But while you're in it, it won't seem so bad because you're working to figure it out and make it happen. And then be that chariot driver again. That one that's got the reins. The one that's pulling the reins and guiding you. And I'm just trying to pull it back off the bottom of my, not the chariot. I'm sorry, the Empress. I knew it was a different card. The chariot was the first read. So use that energy because you got that going for you in your past. So there you go. Hope that was helpful. And folks, I'm not going to do any more readings today as I'm doing these. Remember I said I came in tired this morning, but my energy was up and so on. Now I feel like my head's starting to go a little bit. That's only because I'm stretched out today. I spent a good time of my night last night awake, working. And so that's all I'm going to do for readings today. So 78 cards in a tarot deck patch. Now, when I do a full reading, I use 10 cards. Sometimes we'll use 1, 2, or 3 extras we draw off at the end. And let's see. What was I going to say about that? Oh, that was just answering your question, Patch. Is that 78 cards in there. And you got 5 suits. Well, the major arcana and the 4 subsuits. Wands, swords, coins, or pentacles. And wands, swords, cups. All representing different aspects of life. So, all right. So there you go, folks. That's what I got as far as readings go. We can do a little falling action here now because I want to get out of here and I got to get some more work done. But I think I'm going to go as an adult. As a kid, we hated this, but as an adult, I want to go take a little nap. It's 10:40 here, and I've been up since 2 this morning. So I've had my 8.5 hours in today already. But I'm going to go take a little nap so I can go finish up the rest of these illustrations for this woman. I just got to, when I'm illustrating, I'm just down there. I'm with my thoughts. Sometimes play music. I play shows I can listen to, things like that. And so napping is what I feel like. I feel heavy in the eyes right now. And that's when I know I can't read anymore for today, read cards for the day. So otherwise I do more. Even the second reading I was struggling with my brain a little bit. So I hope that meant something to you, Mary, and that it was satisfactory. So there we go, folks. And that's all I got. Sorry about the bad start this morning. Just trying to get this stream up and running. Rocky and I will figure that out. It's not every Sunday he has an opportunity to be with me. So I thought he might be able to come in this morning, and it would not take the stream, and we just don't know why it didn't do that. So, folks, this week, every night this week, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, and, of course, 7 p.m. West Coast, the Intrepid Radio program. Come and listen right here, same channel. And, of course, I think you're all pretty familiar with that anyway. That's Monday through Friday. And that's all I got so far. So come on over. And also, if you want to get a tarot reading, you can go to my website and sign up there. And I think that's all I got for this morning. You can see my brain is starting to click slow. So I got to go have a little break from my 8.5 hour workday already today and refresh myself so I can finish these drawings for this one. So, client of mine. And so there you go. You have a good day. You have fun today. If you're in my area at all, Twin Cities to Western Wisconsin, you know that it's going to be a nice day today. So go out and enjoy it. All right, everyone. Stay safe, stay groovy, And we'll see you tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it more than you can know. Ciao. Bella.